EZE EGO King of Money. The untold story of Nigeria's King of Money, Victor Okafor, the EZE EGO one of Ihiala. Chief Victor Nnamdi Okafor, the EZE EGO King of Money, the young millionaire aka Undu Bunch, the Igbo tycoon who died tragically at a time when he was celebrating his birthday, is the subject of the story. Make immersion no one would switch a muscle if Victor Okafor is involved. When you mention EZE EGO, King of Money, however, many Nigerians' eyes lips up with delight. He would have been a billionaire in Africa. Hot smile dance on his chubby cheeks, accentuated by a not too bushy mustache. He was fair-skinned, spoke softly, and his chubby cheeks were accentuated by a not too bushy mustache. He was still very young at the time, but he was well known and well respected in Nigerian business circles. Chief Victor Nnamdi Okafor, the EZE EGO King of Money one of Ihiala, a first son and a native of Uzuakwa Ihiala in Anambra State, was born on December 25, 1965, on Christmas Day. EZE EGO's story is often cited as one of Nigeria's most popular rag-to-riches tales. He attended Uzuakwa Primary School for primary school but was forced to drop out of Abot Boys High School in Ihiala for secondary school and eventually went into industry business. His childhood was traumatic, and when he was arrested for being a member of a robbery gang that showed Onitsha traders hell on earth, his own father reportedly disowned him. Although some of his gangmates were apprehended and sentenced, EZE EGO fled to Umumeni village where his enraged father allegedly drove him out. He then traveled to his mother's village, Umuduru. However, things did not go well for him at Umuduru, so he moved to Lagos in 1989 to join a mentor. What happened after that remains a mystery, but by the time the world heard of EZE EGO again, he was already a multi-millionaire and one of Lagos' creme de la creme, one of the richest person in Lagos. He built the EZE EGO shopping complex on Allen Avenue in Lagos with a branch in Abuja, and the EZE EGO Plaza on the Murtala Mohammed Airport Road in Abuja. He operated and managed one of Nigeria's largest electronic stores from those locations. Vic Winners International Limited, EZE EGO Nigerians Limited, EZE EGO Holdings Limited, Vites Zinc Co. Limited, and EZE EGO Properties Limited were among his other businesses. EZE EGO constructed homes, villas, and mansions all over the world, including one made entirely of glass. All of his real estate outside of Ihiala was valued at around ₦500 million in 1999. With the marble used for the walls imported from Italy, the sprawling mansion that served as his country home in Ihiala was worth another ₦500 million. EZE EGO had one of the biggest private cars garage in Africa at the time he was alive. He was a car enthusiast who was constantly stocking his garage in Ihiala and Lagos with new models. He once spent ₦14 million on two Porsche cars from Montreal owned by Tayo Ayeni, a Lincoln Continental Mark 8 sedan, and a Mercedes-Benz R230 convertible. In reality, when he died, he left behind a plethora of high-end automobiles, 70 homes across Nigeria and abroad, and over 10 billion in his bank account. He married Loretta Ekechi, a princess from Akata in Imo State. who was fair complexion and pretty, and the couple had 8 children together. Princess Ekechi moved from Ajao Estate, where she had been living with her husband, to Lekki after his death. According to Nigerian Business Guide, he was bringing her husband's business empire to new heights with her children, studying at top universities around the world as of December 2013. EZE EGO's first son, by the way, was born to a Japanese mother. Apart from his wife, Ekechi, he fathered children with other women. EZE EGO left Lagos on the 23rd of December as scheduled for the eastern region of Nigeria. He sped away in a convoy of 6 of his most ostentatious cars, a Lincoln Navigator 1999 model, limousine Blue Porch, Lexus Jeep, Cherokee Jeep, and a new Honda were among of them. The curious thing about the fateful trip was that EZE EGO would usually travel to Enugu or Port Harcourt, then be driven to Ihiala in a convoy. However, the high number of people killed in plane crash during that time led him to change his mind. For the mogul, the result was catastrophic. EZE EGO wanted to get behind the wheels of his Lexus Jeep in the convoy and drive himself all the way from Lagos to Ihiala for unknown reasons. However, somewhere along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the first problem surfaced. The trouble began when the Cherokee Jeep engine failed, but EZE EGO was in a rush and couldn't bear the thought of missing his flight and being late. As a result, he wanted to continue managing the Jeep for as long as he could. However, by the time the Jeep arrived in Asaba, Delta State, the car had completely broken down in the oil-rich state. Things had stopped being amusing at this stage. EZE EGO was visibly distressed. However, you are aware of the dangers that Nigerian road poses. EZE EGO did not want to leave his prized car vulnerable to robbers in the middle of nowhere in Asaba. EZE EGO was said to have insisted on towing the broken down vehicle alone, with him driving the Lexus pulling the Cherokee Jeep. As a result, he was in front while another of his boys was driving the Cherokee. No one could disagree with the boys, so they continued on their journey until they came to a fork in the road between Ozabulu and Okija on Onisha-Owerri Road. They were only 2 kilometers from EZE EGO's hometown Ihiala in Anambra State, in their final destination at the time, when they decided to reveal his dreadful figure. While driving down a steep hill, EZE EGO allegedly collided with a weakened section of the road and abruptly stepped on the brakes. The driver of the Cherokee behind him was caught off guard, and because he was unprepared for the sudden stop, he slammed his vehicle into EZE EGO's flashy Lexus, sending the millionaire tumbling into a deep ditch along the lane. According to other sources, the towing chain between the two Jeeps broke, causing the Cherokee in the back to run into EZE EGO's Lexus, causing him to lose control and crash into the terrible ditch. His convoy was thrown into chaos as soon as this occurred. Those in his convoy made frantic and futile attempts to pull him out of the ditch and get him medical help as soon as possible. When they eventually got EZE EGO out of the ditch, he had a deep gash in his face, and his face was heavily puffed up, disfiguring his otherwise attractive face. He was rushed to the nearest hospital of Our Lady of Lourdes, where EZE EGO incidentally made a donation of 15 million naira a few years before the accident. Things quickly deteriorated, and to make matters worse, there was no doctor on duty. EZE EGO was already bleeding from his mouth experiencing internal bleeding, and was in shock by the time a medical doctor arrived. All efforts to resurrect him were futile. His family members recommended that he would transfer to a better equipped hospital in Port Harcourt right away. His story became hazy at this stage because it's unclear whether he died on his way to Port Harcourt or while being prepared for a flight to Lagos from Port Harcourt. EZE EGO died on Boxing Day, December 26th. He was only 34 years old. Even after EZE EGO's death, the scandals surrounding his life continued. Barnabas Igwe is lawyer and person in charge of Barnabas Igwe is lawyer and the person in charge of carrying out his will was assassinated along with his wife, Abigail, on September 2, 2002, just 3 years after EZE EGO's death. As a result, EZE EGO's will was never read and the beneficiaries are unknown, at least as of January 2006. But a lot of people believe EZE EGO was a ritualist who committed a lot of atrocities, and so many people will argue that EZE EGO was a genuine business person. Till date, it's still sketchy how he died. Some said he died because his time was due and he sold his soul to the Okije shrine for money rituals, while others says the accident was just a regular accident due to bad roads along Ihiala Road. Till date, no concrete evidence has shown that EZE EGO died of money ritual, sacrifices or a natural cause. His house, his mansion in Ihiala, was abandoned by his family, who left the property and ran away due to speculations that the house was haunted. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're new here, consider subscribing for great content, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers and have a wonderful life. Bye.